So we got to bear with us here. We're going to try to guide you through some of the action going on in front of us right here.
Yeah, and then first of all, we realized you guys that are watching, you're watching one of the stream channels, one of the 5 channels here, and 4 of 20 lanes here at Olympia Bowling, and me and Jesper actually have all 5 of them in front of us, so we might talk about something that you actually don't watch, but yeah, what can we do?
Yeah, that's a tough one. We can't speak about everybody at the same time, but we're gonna try to bounce around between the pairs here. So yeah, see what's going on for most of these players, and if you're lucky, we're gonna talk about some of your preferred stream channels. But yeah, we're gonna try to do our best here to follow along with the action going on.
Yeah, and it's quite some striking going on for sure. I can't help be a little bit impressed and shocked at the same time about the game that's going on from Latvia, Mr. Bukums. He has a nice little 280 chance going on here on lane. What do we have? Lane 14, is it? Lane 12. I haven't really figured out where I see all the lanes.
13 and 14.
Yeah. Exactly. Strike, gutter, spare, and then a chance to strike out going into the 10th frame. It's a pretty cool start. of today's block. So this is block 2. Yeah, they already had 6 games in the book from yesterday, and they will bowl 6 games today and another 6 games tomorrow. And after that, we will cut to top 16. So from my understanding, it's just about to get into the top 16 and get a good feel to bring into the round robin that will be played on Friday. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess what today is what they call as moving day. Today is your chance to really move up the standings. You had yesterday to get comfortable and get what you get for score, and then today is all about just try to improve and move up the standings and put yourself in a good position for the last 6 games tomorrow. And definitely see a few players here with really good starts in the first game. So
good way of looking at it, Jesper, moving up. But unfortunately, when somebody moves up, somebody wants to have to move down as well. So it could be moving that way as well. But
yeah, of course, yeah. It's and with this scoring pace going on right now, there will be some strikes needed to move up those standings. But yeah, it's definitely impressive to see here some of the young players out here that really making a statement here in the first game.
Yeah, we have our neighbors, Finland and Norway, starts on 1 and 2, and Utting is starting with 245 and loses 21 pence on Finland, on Lucas. That's a pretty impressive start of the day. And then, unfortunately, we didn't get the 280 on Bochum's here, but 268, 269.
269 is a very good start.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, opening the 10th there for Nicholas Carter from Denmark. He
the leader
was
from yesterday.
Only player over 1400 yesterday, and he had 1462. So he definitely has some ground. A 222 game there to start. Definitely won't hurt him too bad. It's definitely an impressive performance from yesterday, and
it's a good way of starting. Like, he has 4 spares and 5 strikes. He pretty much gets whatever he could out of those numbers and put the
great
strikes
start
together.
also by Connor Fleming from the United States. I believe he was struggling a little bit yesterday.
Yeah, he was.
Being in 26th place going into the day, so 257 the first game here to start is definitely a great way to start off the day and start his move up the standings.
Good moving day start. Yeah, and obviously carrying the shirt of USA normally puts a little bit of pressure on you, because just to get here to represent the US out of all the great bowlers there, maybe that was the thing yesterday. I was feeling a little bit too much. I don't know. It's just a guess. But today he's starting off smoking hot for sure.
Yeah, we just know that we have watched enough of the American players to know that he have definitely had some really good performances to even get here, like you said. So yeah, I'm sure this is a little bit more up to his standards. So yeah, good to see him moving up the standings, and yeah, just watching across the boards here some really big games. Like I said, Mikael from Iceland also with a 256 to start, and Simon from Slovakia 257, 268 for Blake Walsh. Yeah, wow.
And on the end pair, of course, we have to mention, of course, our heart beats a little bit extra for our Swedish represent, Robin Ilhamar, who has a chance to get off a hot start as well. Can get to 259 going into the 10th.
Yeah, and he last week claimed the gold at European Championships in the Masters. So yeah, he's probably feeling some big confidence here, and yeah, I believe that just from being in different championships around the world, I've already seen some of these players, so they probably have some experience already from adult tournaments and all that. So
We
these kids
did.
can definitely play.
Yeah, and I mean, some of them really are kids, and some are getting close to grown-ups for sure. It's under 21 for this championship, and we talked to the Scottish team at lunch, and I have that on me. I don't remember the name of the female player, but she was 14. She had 6 more years to go for this type of championship, and that's pretty cool to be here already at 14. I don't know if that's the youngest. Maybe we can get an answer from our tournament director. Look, he will have to check. Mike Seymour, our tournament director here, has to check that. But 14 is that's a pretty young age to get out
That's
here.
definitely very, very cool and some great experience for her. And I'm sure we will see her in a lot of these championships in the upcoming years, and maybe also in the European Women's Championship or something like that. Gain this experience from these kind of events at 14 years old. Yeah, that's definitely awesome to get to represent your country at such a young age and get to learn more from meeting and bowling against other players from around the world. That's definitely some of the best experience you can get. So yeah, awesome to see that she already have the abilities to be here and compete at 14 years old. That's very impressive.
I had the opportunity to bowl in 2 of those when I was around this age, but it was U23 at that time, so 2 was big for me. But she will have a lot more chances. And we got another strike from Robin. But just to touch on age and stuff, what do you, Jesper, think that a lot of those guys using the two-handed technique that you are, would you say that it's easier to become good in a younger age, or do you think that matters or not?
Yeah, of course. I feel like it's beneficial in today's game with the more power you can create will give you a slight advantage, and with two-handed technique, that will be way easier to achieve. So the younger generation nowadays, they become decent really really fast, but then it's not about being decent in bowling. It's about taking it one more step. And but yeah, for sure, I feel like that's why we see a lot of young players. That they're not 20 or 21; they're even younger than that. And I feel like that has a lot to do with it. And I seen just walking around and watch the females play. There are a lot of two-handed female players, which I think is pretty cool. Um, that is starting to get more and more common in female bowling as well. Obviously, here on the male side of things, there will be. I haven't really counted yet, but I will be surprised if there is not close to 50% using two-handed. So yeah, pretty cool if you ask me.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think I agree with you there. I remember the biggest problem there was actually to get a good fit and don't squeeze too much with your thumb and stuff. So it is I think for sure easier to take that first step to get to learn how to rotate the ball and start striking and become a better bowler quicker, I think, with the two-handed technique. But then again, it's after that it's a lot of things you need to learn to become great.
Yeah, just like you said there, with you can learn how to strike a lot, but then there's so much more to bowling than just throwing a bunch of strikes, because the spare shooting can be a challenge when you're two-handed, and especially at a young age when you might struggle to get your ball speed up and stuff like that. Accuracy and spare shooting is when you start to figure that out, that's when you can become a pretty scary player to face. So
Yeah, I mean, being a friend of you and watch you grow up, it reminds me a little bit when you look at this. There's a lot of striking, but so maybe there's a little bit of too much missed spares as well. And I think you could relate to that in your younger ages.
yeah, 100%, and it's all about you know, find a way to take the next step of your career and your journey. And for me, spare shooting was definitely one thing that I was struggling with pretty bad. But when I really learned how to shoot spares a little bit better and be more accurate, that will also help your your striking, and you will be more comfortable in general when you don't have to be afraid of leaving those 10 pins or 7 pins or anything like that. That's just another task ahead. And when you figure out how to be a good spare shooter and not give pins away by missing spares, that's when that's probably the next step for a lot of these players, even though a lot of them are good enough already to, and they're that far ahead um, in the development of their
Yeah.
career to
Learning curve, try to
whether,
say.
oh yeah, learning curve, yeah, that's probably a better word, but yeah, they always gonna be a factor if they can make their spares.
And I think, just, I mean, obviously there's a lot of points in it, but a tournament like this with 3 days of qualifying and then a really tough round robin with 60 games over the week, there's a lot of, like you said, like stress and stuff to be able to take that away with not open so many frames, because we all know we get kind of pissed when we miss, huh?
Oh
So
yeah.
it's nice to not have to get angry that much and use as much energy and stuff like on that. So I guess I had to hear it from older bowlers when I was young, so I guess that's what we're gonna try to let them know. Also, it's worth working on a little bit more than they probably do.
Yeah, for sure. And then by the time, by the end of the block tomorrow, I'm pretty confident that it's going to be pretty tight around the cut line. And if you look up the stats for the players around that cut number, there will be the player with the best spare percentage and stuff like that that will make it through. That's normally how it plays out, because all of these kids can definitely strike a lot. So it's about who who gives away the fewest amount of pins,
Yeah.
so or the least amount of pins. So, but yeah,
And,
we'll see.
I can give a little shout out to our Swedish friends at Lane Talk, because they gave us a chance to actually keep up a little bit more with those stats. And since I started following my own stats, I actually was a little surprised on especially one thing. I was missing the 7 pin more than the 10 pin, and I sure didn't have any idea about it before I started to collect my stats. And
Yeah, that 7 pin is hard though. I used to miss a lot of those too.
yeah, yeah. But yes, you used to miss it, and now you've been like top shooter, top single pin shooter for a couple of years on tour. So that's pretty cool. Well, let's talk about something else.
Yeah, let's talk about what we have in front of us here.
Yeah.
Because now, the first game brought us a lot of strikes, but now they change pairs and they have to follow some kind of transition here, and we see a lot of urethane balls going down the lane, which can make the transition a little bit funky sometimes. So
I think that's a great subject. I've been thinking about it too, because the really high scores on the fresh. You are a guy that throws a lot of urethane, and obviously you're left-handed, so you don't have that amount of traffic. But would you think that the lanes will break down to a part where it gets trickier, or will it get easier, you think?
tough to say, but it will definitely be a little bit more pair to pair, might play a little different, and that's what you really need to be aware of as a player, and the coaches as well, to kind of keep track of how to adjust to the different breakdowns of, or the transition could be a little different from pair to pair. So that's definitely something that if the coach is kind of watching what's going on the pairs next to him, that would definitely be a big help for the player, because they're so focused on what they need to do in this exact moment, so they don't worry too much about what's going on the next pair. But a lot of these coaches are probably keeping track of that to help the players out. But I think that's what we can see the most, that the pair-to-pair might be a little tricky. And I think that's what we've seen during the first round of qualifying as well, that you've seen some really big games, but also some low games in there. So if you can be on top of that transition throughout the block, I feel like you can definitely score some really big games on this oil pattern.
I think that's one of the things that's changed quite a lot from when I started to become decent in this game to now. Before it was more about controlling the pocket and controlling the lanes the first game, and then normally some kind of develop made it to where the lanes open up a little bit, and then you get to a good pair. You needed to take advantage of it, and now with the amount of urethane, it feels like. It could be there's multiple times it happened to be the other way around, when you actually need to take advantage of the fresh back ends and all the stuff to strike on fresh, and then the lane carries down and it gets a little rough in the end.
Yeah, for sure, and that could definitely be the case here today with the amount of urethane going down the lane. So that will be interesting to follow along here and see how the players handle the challenges that they will face throughout this block right here. And a few great starts again to this game. Robin from Sweden starting with a spare and then a free bagger, and Max Lawrence on the same lane, 4-bagger to start, and Hassan Kasem free bagger, and then he's got a 2-8 conversion to look at right here.
Talking about coaching and stuff before, and Max Lawrence, his dad Peter Lawrence has been coaching the German national team for quite some years, so he has an experienced dad as a coach. So that might be a big thing for sure.
Especially at this event when it's only singles, the coach really had to focus on one player at the time. So I feel like the coach and player relation here will be that could be a big key for success as well. During a normal championships, the coach have to take 4 or 6 players into consideration. It could be a little hard sometimes on the coaches, but it came in a little high there for Max, but got a big 4 to look at. But hopefully he will just take the count here and not lose too many pins on the count with a double in front of it. So
I think Max had he might have been a candidate to the German national team in the Europeans the other week as well, but I heard he had this last week in school and then this, so he couldn't really do both. But he's bowling with Robin, who's been on the road already for 2 weeks with the European men's, and now this. So I guess it's nice for him to at least be in his home country. But it's quite a task to be on top of your performance as long. You would know.
It's definitely a challenge to try to get a little reset and regroup. But I mean, Robin is probably loving life right now. He had a great finish to the European Championships last week, like you said, and then get to compete in his own country for Sweden. That's pretty awesome. So obviously as Swedes, we really hope he will do well here this championship. And
absolutely. If I should really know this, but I think he's the title defender. Yeah, didn't he?
I think so.
I'm pretty sure he won last time in Peru. So he for sure has some pressure on, and that's another thing with having a single championship like this, that there's nobody else to help you out. So all the pressure on to keep in this case the Swedish flag high up there, and there's a lot of great bowlers, so it will be tough to defend. But I've seen what he can do, so he will be a guy to beat for sure.
Yeah, and he's one of them really hard workers that he's taking his bowling very seriously, and that shows now. He's really gone from being a really good from time to time to always be that factor that we mentioned earlier. He's a pretty good spare shooter, and he definitely not afraid to strike. So it's been impressive to watch him the last couple of years, and how he have developed into a top player. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how he can manage himself throughout this week, and yeah, we hope he will do well.
Let's switch from the end pairs to 5, 6, 7, 8. We have a front five. That guy is for sure not on his home soil. It's quite far away.
It is, yeah, and he had a very good first game today as well. So front six now. So
Blake
awesome
Walsh.
start! Awesome start for Blake today.
I think our dear friend Mr. Belmo has some part of his success that he's actually bowling outside his country now.
I think we don't have to ask him who is his favorite bowler. He is almost guaranteed. He's been looking up to Belmo growing up, and yeah, now he's out here representing his country. It's going to be so cool. We had the opportunity to actually go to Australia to bowl a championship a few years ago, and even though we didn't really do very good at that championships, it was still an awesome experience to get to travel. You know, bowling has given us so much as far as travels and stuff, so it's awesome to see that these guys get to travel all around the world to compete for their country. That's really awesome, and I hope dearly that all these players creating memories that they will carry for forever.
Yeah, my two youth world championship was in Dominican Republic and Thailand. That's pretty cool countries to go to for a little Swede. The one country I've never been to bowling a championship is we never had a championship in Sweden, so obviously have a home crowd and everything would be cool, but that never happened to me. So a little messy near to get to front seven, huh?
Yeah, I got to compete twice as well in the under 21 World Championships, and it was in Hong Kong and in the US.
Hong Kong was okay, wasn't it?
Yeah, Hong Kong was good. A
little gold medal there, huh?
Yeah, that was one of those moments that you will remember forever. That kind of proved to yourself that you can beat at the time all the other great talents around the world. So great experience. And
so that's anything you plan to do in Hong Kong again soon?
Yeah, hopefully.
A leading question.
Hopefully, I will get the chance to compete for Sweden again in Hong Kong in November, I believe it is. Yeah, definitely have some good memories from there. So I hope I get the chance to come back.
Last time we were there, we almost got there. Like you, me, and Wetterberg lost in the semi-final in the trios. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a tough lose, but yeah, bowling for your country is pretty cool for sure. So and to put on top of that with traveling and see the world and see friends, I think the camaraderie in bowling is pretty unique. As we actually bowl more against the lane and the pins than the opponents, so we have a lot of friends over the world, so that's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, I hope that all these players get to create memories and friends that they will last a lifetime. So it's fun to see so many countries represented here in Sweden, and I mean it's a great honor for us to sit here and just chat about bowling and a little bit about what's going on in front of us, but also talking out of our own experiences that we have got to see and do throughout the world, and it's all through bowling. So it's great.
It is absolutely. Like front eight on Blake Walsh on lane 5 and 6.
Yeah. Also, we definitely got some good starts again. Another Ben Pettit from New Zealand on lane 1. Also really far from here.
It's even further travel than Aussie. Those guys have spent a fair amount of hours on the airplane to get here. We are happy to have them for sure.
If I'm not mistaken, Ben is actually in college in the States. I think. I'm not 100% sure of that, but I met actually Ben when I went to Australia a couple of years ago to bowl an event down in Tasmania. I met Ben, and I know that he was talking about having plans about trying to go to the U.S. for college and get some of that experience and to get to be in a place where bowling is a little bit bigger maybe than back in New Zealand. So I'm pretty sure he's actually in the U.S. right now for school. So
Oh, that makes it a little closer, but it's not very close. That one
he
either,
still
but,
probably have coaches that travel from New Zealand. So props to them, anyways.
and maybe family and friends as well. So
Yeah, it's
hopefully they will enjoy the time here in Helsingborg. And I mean, we're talking about this city. This is the place where I host the Lucky Larson Masters, and where you just won it a couple of months ago. So this center and this city have a pretty special place in for sure in Swedish bowling, but both for me and Jesper when it comes to things that we do. A lot of the big tournaments we bowl has been here. My first really big win was actually in this center, 2003. So it's has a special place in our heart.
Yeah, it's awesome. While we were watching that tough solid 9 for Blake there on the front 8, that's tough, but if he can make the spare and double in 10, that's still a very, very good start to the day with 250 the first game, I think, and then a 270 here, maybe, possible. That's definitely good. But yeah, Helsingborg City and Patrick Bakke, the host here at the Olympia Bowling, is yeah, he's definitely great for Swedish bowling and like I said, the host of the Lucky Larson Masters as well. And we always have a great time here, and I'm sure these athletes will say the same thing.
Yeah,
and I remember a few of these guys at least went to bowl the last Lucky Larson Masters, so a few of these players definitely have some experience from this bowling center from before, so that could also be one of them small advantages compared to the other players here.
So be familiar with the lanes in the center and the
Yep.
city and everything. Yeah, it helps for sure. It helps. Yeah, Patrick and his crew here is they always do a great job, and the whole team here is they're all class act. The food is great, and everything around it. We really like it, and if somebody has anything to say else, let us know. We'll try to do something about it. But it's nice. It has been a little windy those days, but we can't do anything about that.
That's why we do an indoor sport. We
Yeah.
don't have to worry about the weather too much.
But if you like to get out, there's a bunch of nice golf courses around here too. That's really really cool. But my golf game would be a little hurt in this wind at the moment. So 268 actually Blake Walls had the first game, so
268.
that would be a pretty
pretty
cool
nice
start.
pair strike. That would be back-to-back 268. But yeah, hopefully you can double in the 10th here for 279 and be on the verge on a great start to the day.
On the pair next to Blake, there's the Romanian guy, mate. He just got from the Aalborg and the European men's as well, and I've been bowling a lot of European Championship, and Romania has never really been super close to take a medal, but they broke their
took two of them in trios,
exactly.
Yeah, that's very impressive.
They took both bronze medals in the trios event, and it was super cool to see a country bring home the first medals, and the joy and happiness that made. That was almost as fun as winning myself.
So he's probably also full of confidence and ready to go out here and have another good performance.
Yeah, I mean, when we started running around and bowl tournaments and championship, Romania was never to count on, but here they are, and now he's sitting at 12th and doing good. So it's cool to see new countries and new guys coming out and perform for sure.
Yeah, it's awesome. And if I'm not mistaken, he also got that first strike in the 10th. Good double there in the 9th and 10th. Yep, and there it is. So possible 217 for him. Won't hurt nobody.
Nope. We did talk a little bit about the lanes changing and carry down and all that stuff on left to right, and I haven't watched spares and I haven't watched Matthias from Norway on lane 3 and 4 the last couple of shots, but he's one of those guys that I know he's a right-hander, but you never really know if he's bowling as a righty or a lefty.
He can do anything he wants with the ball and ball, it seems like. So yeah, pretty impressive to watch. But yeah,
watching Connor here and see if he can save this game a little bit. Had some rough time with the spare shooting this game. Ooh, those messengers that doesn't really exist in my game, but it's cool to watch.
Saar here from Estonia as well with a big 269 game 2.
Yeah, that's
great game for him.
It's a huge one.
And make that 268.
Maybe he didn't want that last pin. So
268 is good enough.
Hopefully.
See that on, let's see, what lane is that? That is lane 5, right? Michael from, is it the Philippines? That's one game that's Martin Larsson style right there. It's 220, no opens, didn't give away, no pins, just spare train with a 4-bagger in there. Perfect bowling game right there.
Good, and again, good grind.
Yeah. We have 269 for Blake.
So 268, 269. I'll take that as a start of the day.
Really good.
Okay, let's go to 3 and 4 there and watch Matthias from Norway and Connor from Stage.
Yeah, good save there for Connor.
That's another thing that I would say getting from tour experience is, I mean, he saves that game to 186. I know he's not happy with 186, but going into the 9th and 10th there, it could have been really bad game.
Yeah, they could have been 150, 160 easily.
Yeah,
those 20 pins or 30 pins, that could be the difference maker at the end of the day. Yeah. So yeah, great save from Connor there, and hope he can bounce back again. He had a good start to the day, so
here you go, back up from Matthias. Yeah. Ooh.
Oh,
slapping it out.
Yep.
Well, that's one of the things maybe with this youngsters, you see a little bit more energy than we can deliver when we are on the lanes.
Mikael as well here on lane 8 from Iceland. Didn't quite get that one, but 245. He also had a great game to start the day, so and he was below the cut line, I believe, coming into today. So great start for him.
Yeah,
2 big games.
He had a rough day yesterday, but 256 the first game today.
256, 245. That's an awesome start to the day for Mikael from Iceland.
Yeah, he had a 148 game yesterday that took him down quite a bit. All the other ones were around 190, 2-0s, but now he's taking moving day seriously.
Yeah. There we go. Cover that spare for a 245 finish. And Simon again from Slovakia with a 258. Didn't we say he had a good first game as well? So yeah, some really big scores here to start the day. We'll see multiple 500s the first couple of games.
I can't find that. Yeah, 257. Yeah, you were right. He's sitting third at the moment.
Yeah, that would
Slovakia is sitting third. Simon.
Yeah, that's awesome. Lucas Vandenen on the end pair, down on 19 and 20. Another player with some experience, both from the adult Finnish national team, but also from the PBA tour. He's been over in the States trying his luck. So definitely an experienced player for his age, and I think that pretty much sums up watching this game right here. Could still shoot 213 with a double in the 10th, but only 3 strikes this game so far, but still 2-0 with a spare, so that's
probably even more a Martin Larsson game, that one. Just the double and then marks.
But again, about staying clean and cover the spares on the pairs that you don't really match up, and don't let those games be in the 150s or 160s. But
Lucas actually bowled Robin last week in the semi-final in the Masters at the Europeans.
Yeah.
And we just talked about it there. It might not be the last time those guys will battle on the lanes. Maybe even later this week. We'll see.
Ooh, 7-10 in the 10th. Jeremy Wong, Hong Kong. That is brutal. Good shot, but
it's a tough, yeah.
Not a nice result there in the 10th.
Tough lane.
Always hurts the most in the 10th.
Those are another thing that you notice on the best bowlers in the world, like to shake it off a bad 10th frame to move on to the next, because if you take it with you and you start the next game with a couple of bad shots and you don't know how to adapt to the new lanes, that could ruin the whole game afterwards. So it's really about shaking it off and get back on the horse and throw some good shots the first couple of shots in the next game.
Yeah, and this, to be fair, was a pretty good shot from him there, 7-10. There's not much you can do, and just try to not really let that affect you. More just get back on track, and like you say, start the next game strong and try to bounce back.
Our tournament leader, Nicholas Carter from Denmark, had another great finish of the game, 236. It's hard to pick up a lot of pins on that. I mean, still high scoring, but it feels like maybe a little lower than the first game. What do we have here? We have this on lane 12. We have a 255 from Nicholas from Malta. Yeah, there's some good bowling and a lot of great talent out on the lanes for sure.
It's scary to watch some of these guys, because in no time they're gonna be hunting us.
Well, they already hunt me down, a couple of them, that's for sure. But no, it's
yeah, it's amazing to have the opportunity to be down here in Helsingborg and watch the future of the sport go at it here, and you know, like we are sitting right now. Yeah, we're just sit here and talk a little bit about bowling and try to follow along the action, but we're fortunate enough to have all the screens in front of us to where we can see everything that's going on. So it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and tonight we actually we will enter the lanes a little bit and have some fun with some youth bowlers from around the area. Hopefully there will be some of those guys competing, hanging out too. But we will have a little fun on the lanes and off the lanes. That's another thing that Patrick and Olympia Bowling and his crew is really good at, making the players have a good time and relax, and maybe stay for some good food. And we have an old friend of us from Spain, Louis Montfort, here to host and do some DJ work. So the atmosphere in this bowling center is normally, I'll say, above average.
Yeah, it's buzzing. It will be buzzing in here tonight, that's for sure. And yeah, I hope we get the chance to chat with some of the players here and see how they see what their thoughts are on the championships, and answer some questions maybe, and just get some time to hang out and talk to them while they're not competing. Obviously, we try to not distract them too much while they're out here and competing. So yeah, but yeah, that would be awesome, and we have some nice giveaways lined up for tonight. So I'm sure tonight will be a very good time for everybody involved. So yeah, hope a lot of the players get a chance to stick around and hang out for a while.
Yeah, thanks to our main sponsor for me and Jesper, Storm Bowling Products. We'll give away some merch and stuff that they will hopefully like. And we already have an updated scoreboard. So after 8 games, we have Lucas Vanninen at the cut line. So 91 plus 91. He is now sitting 16 with a 211 average. I have to say it's pretty impressive by Carter. He's averaging 240. That's kind of sick.
Yeah, that was yesterday's performance, being in the lead by 80 pins, if I'm not mistaken, in this field. Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, and then we have Latvia, Bochums, starting with 5-0 the last these 2 games today. That took him into the cut by quite some pins.
Yeah, and you see Iceland here. Mikkel, he's up to 22nd with a great start today. 5:01 the first 2 games, so he's
feeling it today.
He's making moves, and yeah. In 29th place, we have Mario from Italy. He was here bowling really well at the last Storm Lucky Larson Masters, I believe.
He did, yeah.
Made it to the match play portion, so he's probably looking at minus 30 right now, I believe. So he need to bounce back here with a couple of good games to get back on track to try to climb towards that cut line.
Italy is one of those countries that during my career they've gone from not being super dangerous in the championships to be the country to beat nowadays.
Yeah, they're always up there, and they seem to always have really good team chemistry, and they really enjoy those moments. And yeah, I was there to watch them win the gold medal in teams in Hong Kong a few years ago when they beat the United States in the final, I believe, and that's probably one of the most amazing moment I've ever seen, to see that pure joy and happiness that they got from that. That was it meant a lot to those guys, and after that it seems like they have been to count with every time. And they really have a good generation right now of some really talented players that have bowled together for a long time. So it's been impressive to watch their journey over the last few years.
It's cool to see a country like Malta has a bowler that's showing world class as well. So that's Nicolas Muscat here is up in the top part of the leaderboard. So Malta used to be one of those places I loved to go to when I was younger, to bowl a tournament and hang out and have a combination of tournament and vacation. That's a little bit how we try to look at Helsingborg as well. We know there's going to be a lot of players coming here and not being happy about the performance, but we hope the center, the Olympia Bowl, and the city and the surroundings here will make up for it, and hopefully most of the people are leaving here are had a good time, and we know everybody can't win, so it's not only about winning, it's about enjoying life and the time around it as well.
Yeah, for sure. And as far as the bowling goes, I have a feeling that this game will be it will show us which direction some of these players will go for this block, because 2 games in now, this probably will be the game where the lane's starting to change and fairly drastically too on some of the pairs, I believe. So it would be interesting to see what happened this game, because these game 3, game 4, if you can, some of these guys that started really well today, if they can keep that up, they could look at a really, really big score today, and hopefully they can find a way to keep up that great bowling.
Transition time, we call it, huh?
Yeah.
If you can get through that one.
Game 2 will probably be similar to game 1 at least, because most of the players are playing the same part of the lane and everything, but that spot probably starting to get a little beat up on some of the pairs. So we'll see what happens this game.
What is your normal adjustment when you start to feel like the line you're playing and the urethane ball you're using are starting to get like a little slow or a little weak, and you need to do something to adjust? What would you say would be a normal move?
Well, it could be definitely from time to time. It could be a little different, but typically the the speed control, the speed control, and your hand position will be the key. I feel like you could probably stay in somewhat the same area, but you really need to be cautious about your speed and your hand position. Because you might see your ball starting to pick up a little early or something like that, where you have to maybe bump up your speed some, but you can also not overthrow it. So it's about finding that perfect in the middle. But then you can also, on top of that, you can mix it with your hand position to try to get your ball to do the right thing. And I use urethane for the most part because I really like the control. So it's about trying to keep that control and not give away the pocket too much. And then also depending on the scoring pace, how much you need to try to chase to find really big games, or just try to keep it together in a sense. But in this specific tournament, it seems like the scoring pace, you need to find a way to keep striking to keep up with the scoring pace. So
No, but then again, it's only 211 at the moment to be above the cut number. So that's basically a triple and clean, or two doubles and clean to be in there. But then again, to win it, maybe you need to find something.
yeah, but then it's
before
also
it's too late.
it's easy to say that, yeah, just strike a few times a game and then keep it clean. But if you're starting to lose your ball reaction and you start to move around and try to find your way back to the pocket, it's easy to sneak an open or two in there, and all of a sudden you need a five bagger to recover from that to keep that scoring pace. So it's always that pros and cons with everything. So
True that.
but yeah, we'll see what happens here this game.
We have a four bagger from Ireland, Taylor Williams on lane 3 and 4, and that's another country that hasn't had too many superstars. We have a great friend in Chris Sloan that's bowling on tour, and I know he's a good friend of Taylor as well. Hopefully he can learn in some. So I think that would be a major thing for Taylor to make this cut and to be able to chase the medals. He's now about 35 pins ish away from the cut. He finished yesterday with 159, so obviously that's something he doesn't want to do again.
Yeah, and he's also a frequent player on the European tour, and also now been representing the Team Ireland in the European Championships in the past couple of weeks. So he's also out there gaining that experience, and probably one of the guys that we will see a lot of in the future.
Yeah, he feels like he's all into it, so that's
yeah. And like you say,
cool
it's very important to have those players like Chris Sloan that they try to travel with the younger guys and help them to get started on their journey bowling outside of the country. And I did the same thing with you and our national team coach Robert Anderson. Kind of helped me to start my international journey, and show me around and show how everything works and all that stuff. And it's definitely a big key to have people that care for you and to get you started in a sense.
And don't have to do all the mistakes yourself.
Right.
That's yeah. And obviously, we're here to watch and talk bowling, but if we go to the end pairs, on lane 18, we will have Andrei from Ukraine. And I just talked to the coach, and obviously the horrible situation they have at home, not being able to fly. There's no flights in and out from Ukraine. They had to, I guess it would be like my guess, like a 2.5 hour flight, whatever, to here. Not much more than that, but they had to travel in bus for 2 days to get here. That shows some commitment, and obviously that will. I think there's nobody that wouldn't like the Andrea and their team from Ukraine to do good, but I have no idea how much they've been able to practice and stuff. But for 3 years now, it's been a tough situation for them for sure. So hopefully he will enjoy his time here and well. It seems like he's been taking off your style.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I had the opportunity to meet Andre in France when we bowled the European Championships, and yeah, such a great guy and down to earth. So it's yeah, it's amazing to see him here, and yeah, like you mentioned, it's we can only be sorry for the situation they are in, and hope that it can be solved as quickly as possible, and that they can get back to normal living standards back home.
I don't know if the situation down in Israel had something to do with them not being here or not, but they were at the Europeans in Aalborg, and suddenly they were not allowed to get outside the hotel, so they had to quit the team event because of politics and war and stuff. And it's sad that those things are going around, and all the athletes cannot come and bowl and stuff. But
Yeah, sad situations, and like I said, we can only hope that things will get solved as quickly as possible, and we can go back to normal life for everybody and just enjoy what we love the most, and it's bowling, you know. And like I said, I hope that all the athletes that are here at least can enjoy their time here and enjoy the great game of bowling.
yeah, so maybe we should let people enjoy the stream without us in their ears for a while. What do you think? Maybe we can go out and watch Taylor or Andre on lane 3 and 4 and 1920, see if they can get the first perfect game of the tournament.
Now you jinxed them. Now they might both miss.
You think? I'm lucky, Larson. I'm not unlucky, Larson.
Does that work for other people, or is it just
It
yourself?
seems it works more for other people than me nowadays.
Oh, okay, good. Then.
I might change my nickname to Unlucky because it doesn't feel lucky anymore.
Yeah, but it's been a great time so far.
Should we try to come back later, you think? Maybe the last game, or?
Yeah, we could, and see. Yeah, watch the last game for sure here on the mic, and go out there and hang out. Maybe talk to some of the coaches and parents that are here, and
maybe talking about Mike. Maybe we should invite Mike for a few sentences when we get back to hear what the tournament director thinks so far. Well, let's say we'll be back in the start of game 6 then. Talk later.
Yep.
On that side? Yeah, it is. You're supposed to be excited with what you're Australia's bowling 190, 192, 192. Harsh, very harsh.
Is it fair? Yeah.
Oh, so harsh but fair.
Se va derecha. Eso es. Por ahí ves que ganaba. Parece bien.
There needs to be a strike instead of a nice strike. Yeah. Even the more that's not a strike. All right, 16 you are. What do I do? Alright, good luck.
2 seguidos.
Snyggt gubbe!
Right, that's it.
I am Swedish.
Yeah.
They live in Sweden. They have an apartment there. His mom is Swedish. I'm just
I was starting to
Come on!
I don't want to ride it when it's up.
Well, then it's not going like that. Vi ska på rörelsen. På denna sättet bara att det sitter. Jag är ju så bara att finna. Nästa för att se. Alltså jag såg du. Jag ska ha det. Det var säkert att prova. Ja. بعد ما ضايق
kata IBF. Kota puolisen pystynä ja syömään. Mä vielä tarkkaan. Vesi da alla kata. Tapi korta kemarin juga itu wajah penuh. Yang itu tadi sampai anak kandung kemarin ada apa? Pelata ini.
All right, as promised, we're back.
We're back.
Time flies when you have fun, huh? We were chatting a little bit with you guys a while ago, and we promised to be back to do a little bit of commentary here for the last game of the day. I am Martin, aka Lucky Larson, and I have my dear friend with me, Jesper.
Yep, Jesper Svensson still here. Enjoying some great bowling from the gentleman out here. We see the last pair just finished up game 5, so they're about to move into the last game of the day here. And yeah, some really great moves in the standings. Some really solid 6-game blocks being put together here, or 5-game blocks so far, and let's hope that they can manage to keep that up for the last game here.
Yeah, we talked about moving day. They had the one block yesterday, first 6 games to get to know the lanes and the center, and now they should have learned something from yesterday and picked up some good things from this pattern that Christy Jonas from Kegel has been putting down with the brand new nice Atlas machines. We're thankful for whatever Kegel does to this championship and to the sport overall. They're really professional when it comes into lane maintenance, and good guys to have to make sure that we are having a good playing environment. 43 feet, I think the pattern is. And
Yeah.
when we were watching the fresh, it looks like there was quite a lot of urethane going down the lane, so I guess it's been stretched a little bit. And we talked about the scoring pace, Jesper, on the fresh. Have we seen any changes over the block, you think?
Yeah. They seem to tend to get a little bit harder as the block goes on. Still, some of the guys out here have managed to find a way to strike through the transitions, and if you're keeping up with the standings, I think y'all can see that we have a new leader from Slovakia, and been putting together a really solid block here. But even for him, you see 250, 250, 240, 220, and 210 game 5. So seems like him as well still have a steady way to the pocket, but probably going through a little bit of carry issues now with all the oil being pushed down the lane. But still a very impressive block.
Yeah,
So
we have
far.
Simon on 17-18, tournament leader at the moment.
Yep.
Um,
And
but if you look at the fifth game compared to the first game, I've seen two 240s in the fifth game.
yeah.
And 240s, we didn't really talked about 240s in the first game. There was a bunch
Yeah, it
of
was
260s.
multiple 250, 260 games, game 1. So yeah, it's definitely a little bit of carry down. I would guess makes it a little bit harder to get the ball through the pins now later in the block. And yeah, we talked about it briefly on different tricks to use for those situations. But like I said, we still have some really great blocks putting together so far. And yeah, we have in 4th place representing Malta. Really solid block as well. 240, 250, 230, 230, and 210. Game 5.
Another island. Malta is a little smaller island than Australia, though. But
Australia
Walsh has
as
a
well. Yep.
great block going as well. 268, 269,
Yeah,
218.
started to go a little bit downhill there game 4 with a 180, but then found his way back to 240 game 5. That's impressive work right there.
Yeah. And talking about making a run, Latvia, Bochum's has a good block also to be just inside the cut now.
Yep.
And
to be in the cut right now, it's
That's
just
actually moved
shy
it up,
of
yeah.
213 average so far. So
And that was 211 when we started. So even
Yep.
if the high score's been going down a little bit, but the overall cut number has been moving up.
the red hot Nicholas Muscat from Malta is currently on lane number 4. But yeah, your tournament leader again on lane number 17, starting the last game with a double. So he seems to be dialed in and just cruising to the finish line for the day. Some really impressive work for him.
And double as well on 17-18 Blake Walsh. We heard from the tournament director Mike Seymour here that there is some good bowling genes in that one. And his I think I bowled with Jason Walsh was so what was the I think the brother of Blake's dad, yeah?
Yes.
Jason. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
oh, that's a different one on lane 15.
Yeah, that is the risky part of hooking at that particular spare, but yeah, that's definitely a little unlucky there for Nicholas Carter. Still in pretty good shape though, even with that open frame there on, let's see what lane that is it 16?
And when we started commentating this block, there was who was it? Was it? I think it was the bowler from Latvia who had the 280 chance with strike, gutter, spare.
Yeah.
And I think it was a 1 and 2, and we had the same start here with the strike, gutter, spare on lane 2.
Yeah.
I guess there are some guys that are trying to challenge the gutter, and sometimes it goes in.
That's how it goes.
And the last thing we did before leaving the commentary before was said we're going to go out and see if somebody shoots 300 because it was two front fives, or I think it was, and Andre was one of them. Jesper said I'm going to jinx them, and so be it. So I'll see if I can jinx Andre this time because now he's front four on lane 14, I think.
Yeah, we have actually
That's not my intention.
On lane 5 and 6, there is one double 7 spare, and then the other 3 guys have started with the front 3, so they're looking to finish the day strong here. There's another strike from Brian from Singapore, right? So yeah, it definitely seems to still be some strikes left out there. It's interesting to see which players can really dial in here and manage their energy just enough to finish the day on a good note and a positive feeling going into tomorrow.
Yeah, it's always nice to leave the lanes with a good feel and get out of the bowling attire and have a nice meal and relax. The boys will be back tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
To bowl at 9 o'clock. So it's to be a championship. I have to say this schedule is pretty nice. I've been to some where you have to be able to go to bed straight after the block and get ready to get back up the morning after. But here they have a pretty nice schedule actually. They can relax tonight and have a good meal and be ready to finish off the qualifying tomorrow.
Yeah, and process what was going on today, and make some adjustments for some that maybe felt like they left some pins out there and start fresh tomorrow morning. I see a few of the players now have actually switched into backup balls here for the last game. I wonder if that's the players that have the ability to do that. They kind of feel like that's their way to handle the issues that they face on the right side for the most part, and they switch into backing it up from the left side. So that's one trick that I never learned, and but to be fair, as being a lefty, I don't feel like that would be an advantage.
You don't want to try our side, mate. No, I can tell you that. You stay on your left side and be happy.
Yeah.
Well, there is sometimes actually. We talked about the European Championship before. They were pretty rough, and they were sure not a lot nicer on the left than the right. Maybe even I have to admit they were slightly worse on the left than the right. And it takes me a bit to go there. So.
And I feel like I bowled long enough to know the fact that those things goes both ways, and that's just how it is. But this week in particular, it seems like it's definitely playable on both sides. The scoring pace seems to be, like I said, the cut number right now takes just shy of 213 average, so it seems to be on a reasonable level. So good job there from Christianos and Kegel, designing the pattern. But obviously, as we were talking about earlier, we have a big PBA tournament in the same location with Kegel as the lane pattern designers for that one as well. So they have a good amount of knowledge about this place to where they can make a pretty solid, accurate guess here on the pattern design and shape, and they could have a good idea of what the scoring pace will get to. So
yeah, it's really good to have Kegel helping out there because it's one of the hardest thing there is to try different patterns and make them some kind of fair and make them playable from different parts of the lane. And yeah, it's without their knowledge it would be super hard. So it's great to have them backing up this tournament, and as well as the Lucky Larsen that's going on here in late August. We actually start testing patterns now for that, so it's an ongoing thing, and it's one of the harder things there is for sure. So we'll see what we're gonna come up with this year, but I think you kind of liked it last year.
Yeah, you don't have to change it too much.
Yeah, well, let's see. There was different opinions on that, and that's the only thing I know for that it's absolutely for sure is that everybody won't like it. That's just impossible.
Yeah, that's a tough part about organizing a tournament, I guess, to try to make as many as possible happy. But
Talking about organizing tournaments and patterns and stuff, maybe we should invite the tournament director here for a couple of minutes, and we're asking some questions. Mike, do you have a chance to come join us? He's,
we need to make some room for the big man.
No, you don't have to tell them that. You're not in.
They can't see you, Mike.
No, it was unnecessary. Mike Seymour, yeah, too much information. Thanks for bringing the World Cup, Youth World Cup to Sweden. We appreciate you guys wanted to let us host the event.
Well, it's an absolute pleasure actually being back here again, because I was here in 2022 when the World Youth Championships are on, and Helsingborg is just a lovely city. The guys here at the bowling centre are very hospitable. Patrick knows what he's doing. Yeah, it's just a very, very nice bowling centre, and it's undergone some improvements since the last time we were here, and it's even better, bigger and better than it was before.
It's not bigger. We wish it was bigger, but
well, it just looks bigger with that big LED screen at the back these days.
Yeah, the LED screen is pretty
sensational,
cool.
Absolutely sensational.
So let us know, like, how does it actually, like, how do you get a tournament like this?
How do you get a tournament? I mean, it's basically up to the National Federation to put in a bid.
Okay.
Back in we have various events, and we have some criteria that we need to meet and all that sort of stuff. And federations put in bids with regards to where they want to hold it, number of lanes, are there hotels close by, all of those sorts of things. And the executive board reviews those bids and makes a decision whether they're going to award the event to that particular bidder. And that's what happened this year with Patrick. Patrick was very keen to hold another event, and he along with the Swedish Federation came up with a bid, and the board accepted it virtually straight away. So it was good.
Cool.
This is a perfect centre to hold this type of event, because with one representative from each country, boy and girl, it's not huge, it's not overly big.
Yeah.
So the centre can manage it, and it's quite comfortable here.
No, it's good. And Helsingborg is not a big city, and the center is 20 lanes. It's one of our biggest challenging hosting the Storm Lucky Larsen Masters is we don't have any really big centers in Sweden.
Yeah.
So 20 lanes is we have some that is a little bit bigger, but then again you want to have as fair as possible as well. And we have a lot of centers with pillars, with walls, with stuff like that.
Yep.
Here we have 20 lanes with
straight.
There's no walls in the way. There's no pillars. It doesn't matter if you end up on 1 and 2 or 19 and 20 or 11 and 12. It's all the pairs are equally easy or hard or whatever. So that's one of my main things hosting my tournament here. So I guess that's pretty good for you guys as well. We know bowlers, they find a way to bitch and whine, and we don't want to let them have too many reasons.
Exactly right. Cut those down as many as you can.
But I know as organizing a tournament, it's not only the week of the tournament, it's the work. There's kind of a lot of work. So
there's months and months of preparation. It seems to go very quickly once you're here, because when you add up all of the preparation that goes into it, the hosts have a really tough time sometimes. I mean, bowling federations are notorious for deciding late whether they're going to attend an event. Notoriously late in submitting information is required.
Mm-hmm.
And it puts a real strain on the organising committees and any federation out there that's hosting an event or is sending players to an event. I think they need to just keep in mind the amount of work that goes on behind the scenes, especially if they do submit stuff that's supposed to be by a due date and they submit it late. It does cause issues.
Yeah, it's hard. It's actually the same with bowlers withdrawing from squads and stuff. So it makes it harder.
Absolutely.
And you can understand it's tough for federations as well when when the world is in the spot where it is like where there is conflicts going, there is
Absolutely, no, we understand that.
it's money issues like right now. There's a lot of tough a lot of countries that is in a negative economic situation.
Sure, and a lot of countries rely on funding from governments and stuff like that, and the governments are notoriously slow in providing approvals or not approvals for funding. So it makes the federation's job a little bit more difficult about deciding whether they're going or not and putting that confirmation in if they don't actually have the funding available. So we do understand that as well.
Okay.
So, Mike, I have a question for you. What is the best part about your job?
You put him on the spot there, Ross.
The best part about my job, I guess, it's liaising with federations and zones and guys like you to get feedback on how the sport's going and where we should maybe make some improvements, or we can have room for improvement somewhere. And you can only get ideas like that actually physically talking to people. And coming to events like this, I'm fortunate enough to get to come to these events, and I get a lot of feedback from spectators, from administrators, from bowlers, from parents about stuff, and that's one of the best parts of the job, because you can get the information that can feed back to the executive committee so they can make appropriate decisions. So,
Yep,
yeah.
fair enough. And then, on the other hand, I'm not gonna ask what's the worst part about your job. I'm not gonna ask that, but I'm gonna say, what is the wildest thing you've ever seen during a championship that you have hosted, like that you have had to deal with something extraordinary that have happened, like some breakdown or whatever? What's the wildest thing that comes to mind?
I'm glad you mentioned that.
Without throwing anybody out in the bus.
No, I won't throw anybody out.
Yeah, you don't have to mention any names,
No, I won't
because
mention-
maybe me and Martin are involved.
One of the wildest things that happened in 2022 here, we were about 2 games into the team squad, and the scoring system went down,
That's not good.
and it was like nobody could get it back up again. So Jonathan from here was on the phone to Italy with Cubica AMF, and I was almost close to calling it quits for the day and bringing everybody back in the morning early to finish off the block, because it was like we were 40 minutes in and we still hadn't had a resolution.
Yep.
And a couple of times it got really exciting because the scoreboards flickered back on and then they died again.
Yeah.
And it was a real situation about when do you actually make the decision to call it quits, let them pack up and come back and start afresh tomorrow.
Yep.
So 5 minutes later, they came back on and they stayed on.
Thank
Everybody
God.
was happy, and everybody that was here for that particular squad and that particular event, they took it very well. They knew we were doing our best to try and get it back up again. But that was quite exciting.
Yep. Yeah, I figured.
In a rough way.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just figured there gotta be some of those like mishaps that you cannot prepare for, that you
Exactly
just
right.
gotta have to deal with on the fly as the
Exactly.
tournament
I
director.
mean,
And
one of the classic things is when you're putting a tournament together, especially a big one. This one's not too bad. I heard you mention the schedule before, and this is a pretty good schedule here because it's a pretty easy tournament to do. But when you get to the big events like the World Championships and stuff like that, where you've got hundreds and hundreds of bowlers coming in, and you're starting at like 9 o'clock in the morning and you're not finishing until 10 o'clock at night, the schedule's really important. As soon as you get a lane breakdown, for example, that lasts 30 minutes or 45 minutes, the whole schedule for the whole day is gone.
yeah,
You know, it just blows it out of the water, and it's those things you just can't plan for.
Yeah. No, it's tough, and it takes a lot of work behind the scenes. That's the one thing I can relate to for sure.
Oh,
And the like, take for example the things you guys did manage to get the outdoor finals in Dubai a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
It was very, very cool actually. A lot of work went into that, and many thanks to Cubica AMF for providing the outdoor lanes, and they came down and serviced them and set them up and all that sort of stuff. And that was a pretty good event, I thought.
yeah, that's the kind of things, because I was fortunate enough to get to bowl on the outside lanes, and that's memories as a player that I will remember those forever, because it's so different.
Yeah, for sure. We had a similar event with the World Cup in Hong Kong this year. We took the finals into an indoor stadium on the island in Hong Kong.
Nice.
And just set up 2 lanes there and invited the public in. And we had about I think somewhere between 800 and 1,000 people in at one stage.
Wow,
which is
that's
really
awesome.
really good. So those types of things they're good for the sport because they it's more high profile and it gets it out there and more people get to see it. And we like those sorts of things. I mean, we appreciate hosts being a bit more innovative in what they're presenting when they host a World Championship. So that was really good.
World Championship, that's the next thing, you're working with, and it's actually in Hong Kong again.
Well, we've got 2 coming up fairly close to each other. We've got the World Seniors Championships in Reno coming up in October, October 13th, I think that is. And currently we have close to 400 bowlers coming along.
Is that going to be at the
that's cool.
stadium?
That's at the stadium, National Bowling Stadium.
Yeah, that's awesome.
78 lanes. I'm looking forward. I've never been to Reno, so I'm looking forward to that one. But yeah, we've got 4 divisions this year. We've got seniors and super seniors, men and women in both. So 50 to 65 and then 65 plus. So we've got 400. Around about 400 bowlers already coming along. So that's going to be a huge event. And then straight a month after, we've got the World Championships in Hong Kong. That's the combined World Championships. That's the only qualification event that we have, where the teams qualify through their zone championships. And I think Europe just finished their zone championships in the men's for their men's qualifiers. So
we did, we did, and that's. We talked about different things before as well about the situation in the world, and I know. The team from Ukraine actually took the last spot and they were super happy about it, but straight after is the next problem because they don't know if they can get away and they can get the fundings and everything. So
I was really happy when I got an email from Ukraine, the Vice President of the Ukraine Federation, saying they wanted to come here.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, so it was really good. It's nice to see them back on the world stage.
Yeah, so but I guess your schedule is not going to allow too much of vacation in the summer.
Well, it's always summer in Bali where I live, so I get the perfect opportunity to live in a really nice place, and I work from home, and we get things done. So
that's good. So we can look forward to a great championship in Hong Kong. We hope. Will anything special going on there this time, or is it?
We're going to do the arena finals again back in the stadium. We're going to do the trios on one on the second last day, and the team finals on the last day in the arena.
Oh, nice!
So we're going to do that again. Cool. So looking forward to that. Hong Kong always puts on a great tournament. They're well organised. The Hong Kong China Champion Bowling Congress is well organised. They put on a great event. It's it's really good. So
I've been to Hong Kong. I've been to Hong Kong a couple of times, and it's always been running smooth, and things are good there. So
they get lots of volunteers. They've got liaison officers for each team that come along. And
actually, I remember when I bowled the World Youth Championships there
2014.
1 year. Yeah, they had every team had a volunteer that. She was like our guide. Like we could ask her anything, and she would go with us anywhere that we needed. And she provided all the information and all the help, all the guidance that we needed.
And they're always there ready for you. Right?
All the time. That was absolutely amazing. And that was the first time I ever experienced that. So that was amazing.
Yeah. I think Asia overall is very hospitality and very friendly and stuff. So we have some stuff to learn from there, but we'll try to our best to be nice to everybody that visits Sweden this time. We're really pleased that you guys decided to let us host the event here, and
I'm very happy to be here. I must admit.
That's we're glad to hear. We know we're forcing you to say that. So let's finish this block off, and then actually me and Jesper's gonna have to work a little bit here tonight.
Yeah, I think this is the last game, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Last couple of shots.
We're actually about to have a little event with the local youngsters here tonight. So we hope that we will get some of the athletes from the actual championship to stick around and hang out with us. And
it's going to be a little bit of music and a little bit of teaching, a little bit of Baker. And if you guys want to see me, Jesper, and some of the other Swedish stars suffer, I think actually we'll stream it as well. and on top of that, they will put the same pattern down on the lane. So
Yes, they're gonna challenge us for real.
yes, I don't really like it. We have everything to lose and nothing to win. It feels like, but
That was my idea.
yeah. Okay, thanks for that.
You're very welcome, guys. Very
So
welcome.
no house shot here, the tournament pattern, and we will try to give some of our knowledge to the up and coming future stars here.
The future stars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll.
That's very good of you to do that. I think it makes the event a little bit more exciting for spectators and the youngsters around town that are coming in. I think it's a great idea. Yeah.
Ooh, and me being Lucky Larson, I think our Swedish guy on lane 9, Robin Lucky Ilhammar, now he kind of broke out a split almost straight in the nose and to strike the first one in 10th. He's making a really nice finish out of this last game. Maybe a chance to jump up a couple of spots.
Yeah, great finish for him.
Some really good games though. Simon, who led from Slovakia,
Yeah, another 260.
267.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he's,
is
uh,
definitely on
he's
a mission
motoring along,
today.
yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
mission today. So that's I have to say, very nice bowling, Simon.
Andre from Czech, we've seen him strike before, 256.
There's plenty of strikes out there this last game, that's for sure.
Yeah,
It's
that's
257
Yeah,
from
definitely some.
Daniel from Malaysia on lane 20. 225 from Blake, 267 there, 246. That pair of lanes was quite good, wasn't it?
yeah.
246, 267, 225. Looks like you're about 220, you're going to lose ground.
That's it's almost like those guys know what they're doing, huh?
Yes, for sure. For
Yeah.
sure.
They don't look too new to me, huh? There's some really great scores, absolutely.
Absolutely. It's 250 there on lane.
But then again, when you lose it, you lose it. There you see there is some bad ones too. So it's
It's really interesting when you look through the middle of the block. It's that's when it sort of goes, and then comes
Yeah,
this
that's
way
the
through the
transition games that
Yeah.
we've been mentioning that earlier on the stream. That it's really about managing those
That
curves
middle,
up and down,
that
and
middle
and
piece,
yeah.
We also talked about spare shooting, and I think Mr. Taylor Williams want to have a little look at that for this game. A lot of striking, but we're lacking some spares. So, well, I hope we've not been too tough to the
I
the
was
guys.
worried about the questions you were going to ask me, but no, we got through that okay. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, Mike, we appreciate you hopping on the stream with us for a little bit.
My
It's
pleasure.
always interesting
My
to hear from the voices behind it all, and the people that make sure that
Oh,
we
well,
even
thank you
have
guys
these
for coming
events.
down and doing the stuff that you're doing, the promotional stuff. It's really good.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, we're gonna have some giveaways tonight for the kids, and maybe tomorrow we're gonna have some as well for those participating in the World Championship in the World Cup. We know it's a big thing for them, and we appreciate them coming here and it's actually visiting Sweden and challenging the pressure that it takes to bowl
Yes.
an event like this for your country.
Absolutely.
So,
And Hirovsky finishes on top again with Norway and Denmark. Blake Walsh drops into fourth.
I have to say, organizing stuff in Sweden, we're normally really quick with numbers, but you guys,
Thank you.
You guys did some good things
Thank
here.
you.
This is
Thank
the
you.
quickest
Yes,
I've ever. It's like it's real time. Just
As soon as the
bang
game's
it,
finished,
right?
it's
Yeah.
on the scoreboard.
That
It's on the
is
results.
That's what it's supposed to
impressive,
be.
Yep.
and that makes our task here a little easier too. It's easy to
Absolutely.
follow, so
Yeah.
that's
We've
that's
been
really
trying to
good.
build this up for the last few tournaments that we've had, and this one is actually coming together very nicely. It's all of that overlay on the live streaming is all done by the same people that are doing our results. He's still doing the ticker across the bottom. He's got the stats up the top with about where you're sitting and how many behind the cut you are, or where the cut is in comparison to yourself. It's coming together quite nicely now. And,
Yeah, and I hope you guys that watch appreciate all the work. Like, I know there's a lot of people just think that everything should work, everything should be free, it should be that, it should be that. It's not that easy, but this way of watching the stream with the scores in the top and in the bottom and everything like that, it's nice.
it is. It works pretty well.
We have Slovakia on top, Norway, Denmark, Aussie, Sweden. So there's we have to be happy. Our Nordic countries,
They're
three
doing
of
very
them
well.
up in top 5.
Absolutely, doing very well.
Malta and Kuwait on 7th.
And Saudi's in there as well. I
Estonia.
think.
Yeah,
in
and
13.
Malaysia
Yeah.
10th. Malaysia always good. Singapore, Saudi's 13th.
And New Zealand popped into the 16th place. 211.9 is the cut.
Switzerland, England, yeah. New Zealand is inside the cut now.
Yeah, I feel like we're set up for an exciting last block tomorrow to try to make a run at the top 16. Just shy of 212 average, like you mentioned. So
it's a lot of
a
guys
lot of
in the
people
hunt.
with a good chance coming into tomorrow. So looking forward to see who can
So just a
squeeze
little
through.
plug before we go. Anybody that's happy with what they see with the results and the live scoring and the live streaming, please don't hesitate to put a comment on our Facebook page. Let us know how we're doing. That'd be great.
Yeah, it's
For
always
all
nice to-
feedback greatly appreciated.
So, well,
Absolutely.
Chris Jonas is gonna run the lanes again one more last time for us now. So thanks to Kegel and Chris Jonas for doing that, and we'll see how rough they are. We'll show
Yeah,
up
we'll
and
see.
see if we can find some balls to throw down the lanes.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
and thanks to everybody listening and watching.